What y'all listening to?
Limelight Highlight Podcast.
Welcome back to the show, your positive podcast, safe space and great place for a positive outlook on life. We're here with another special episode featuring a special guest. But as always, before we get into all of that, let's go over the updates, followed by the unrelated fun fact for today. This past weekend, I had the chance to get back to Philly, take care of some personal things. But while I was there, I made sure that I went to the block shop on Saturday, as they do every Saturday, to feed the block, and I helped volunteer. I think they gave out over 150 platters, dozens of bagels, over 100 loaves of bread, and some of those lovely little snack bags. They didn't have any produce boxes this past Saturday, but everyone was still extremely understanding, and there was still a line out the door, so they were really appreciative to receive all that was given. I even brought my sisters and my dad to help out. So all in all, it was a really good time. I love volunteering at the Block Gives Back. Wish I could do it more. But big news for everyone listening right now, and it's got to do with the Block Gives Back. Two friends of the block anonymously have agreed to donate $5,000 for a matching campaign for Giving Tuesday on December 1st. Now, for those who don't know what Giving Tuesday is, it is a global generosity movement unleashing the power of people and organizations to transform their communities and the world. And it was created in 2012 as a simple idea, and that idea encouraged people to do good. So that's what we love to highlight, people doing good. So back to the $5,000 match, there's a catch. And that catch is that it's a match. So we have until December 1st to raise $5,000 collectively. So it can be matched for a total of $10,000. Now all the proceeds are going to go towards the end of the year, John, but also, you know, all the events that the block does to help those in need, like feeding the block every Saturday. And like I said, this will be a huge push for helping them to have their most successful end of the year, John, to date. So all I need for you to do is head on over to theblockisback.org and donate. And if you don't want to do that, they have Cash App, they have Venmo, they have PayPal. You can even go to the block shop yourselves if you're around. Any amount will be greatly appreciated, even if it's just $1. This is a huge opportunity for you to get involved and help the block and help others. And I truly hope you donate. I mean, I can't say nicer things. So remember, December 1st is the deadline, and we really need to hit that goal. So help us out. I appreciate all those of you who have already donated and continue support. And I thank you in advance for those who are planning to do so. Now, this week's unrelated fun fact is about emotions. Specifically, that feeling you get when you get embarrassed. So, here's your fun fact. Humans are the only animals that blush. We're the only animals that feel embarrassment. I guess we're too smart for our own good. And, you ever see a dog do something stupid and they ever feel dumb about it? No, I don't think so. So I guess it makes sense. Thought that was a pretty cool fact. Another emotion that only we as humans have. Now, for this week's guest, we have Liz from Negron Consulting Associates. I know we speak a lot about the Block Gives Back, and we're going to do a little more of that today as well, but we never really speak too much on, all the moving pieces. There's a lot going on that makes this organization so organized and what makes it run proficiently. Becoming a nonprofit organization is a pretty big deal. It comes with a lot of benefits that we all, we dive deep into all of those details in this episode and we discuss. But Liz happens to be one of those background moving pieces. And the person responsible for submitting all of the paperwork and all of the legal jargon that got the Block Gives Back their nonprofit status. So we dive into how she got into the world of finance and discuss all of the jargon that makes what she does so important. And this episode was a long time coming. So I'm really happy to have Liz on the podcast, and I hope you enjoy listening and learn a thing or two. So without further ado, please help me welcome Liz to the show. All right, Liz Negron, or Elizabeth Negron, welcome to the show from Negron Consulting.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just call me Liz, please. Thank you.
Okay. Well, your whole name is Elizabeth.
My name is Elizabeth, yes.
And what is Negron Consulting?
Negron Consulting is a bookkeeping firm that I own. Very tiny. It's just myself right now. I do bookkeeping, accounting, personal taxes, small business taxes, starting up small businesses. I help people get their businesses started on the books, get their books started. I use QuickBooks a lot, so I get their businesses started as far as getting their bookkeeping piece of it and their finances together. I help them figure out how to get things rolling, how to do things legit, try to get everybody on the books and do things by the book.
And you're here today because you've done exactly what you said by getting things started for this podcast's favorite nonprofit organization, The Block Gives Back.
Yes.
There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of people in The Block Gives Back that makes it work.
Yes.
Not only the volunteers, not only the events, not only the donors, but there's a lot of background stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
So you are responsible for, you are and were responsible for helping them get their 501c3 nonprofit status, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So what was the process like for that?
It was fairly simple. Like I said, they're small corporations, so it makes things a whole lot easier when you're starting up. Their basics were already set. They had their corporation, they had their state nonprofit charitable organization licenses. So all I had to do was get it at a federal level. So it's just basically going to the IRS, filing a form with the IRS saying that we're looking for 501c3 status so that they can go ahead and start collecting donations, and those donations will actually count for something towards the people donating the money.
Now, before you helped them get their 501c3 status and all that, they were just their own organization, kind of doing community work and stuff.
Right.
Like I said, multiple people making this platform or this organization work.
Right.
And this podcast is all about positivity and people in a positive space for me to highlight people doing positive things. And you did all this for them. What does this change?
This changes everything for them. Now they're able to go out to bigger organizations, ask for donations with their 501c3, because now the actual recording of their taxes at the end of the year are now for a nonprofit organization. So it helps them along the way with getting bigger organizations to make bigger donations, to get grants that they can run their what they do. Basically, they can expand on making the Block Gives Back not just a small charitable organization where, they give out food every weekend, but also they can expand on that with the grants that they get based on what the grants are. So the grants can range from a different perspectives. They can come from the city, they can come from the state, they can come from the federal level at this point with their 501c3. So anything that they do going forward, grant wise, with my help, what they do is they'll get the funds. I'll basically help them allocate those funds to making sure that they spend it properly and it's being recorded properly. So at the end of the term of that grant, sometimes they have to report back what they used the money for. So this is just to keep them with compliance of having grant funds. Grant funds are all usually either state, local, or federally funded.
This is a lot of paperwork, it's
a lot of paperwork, pushing it back and forth,
loopholes not loopholes,
but more of
obstacles to jump through to get to.
It's more of a fine line of making sure that they're doing things correctly with them being a 501c3. They don't pay any taxes on anything, so it's just basic, reporting on what they're actually using the money for to make sure that the funds are being used properly. It's like
a accountability kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, the government wants to know what you're spending their money on. They're giving you funds to, let's just make an example, for a toy drive for Christmas for the kids. So they want to see how many toys you bought. They want to see what you spent the money on. If you needed a location to kind of give the toys away to the kids, they want to know how much money you spent there. So it's a line by line process. So it could get very, very detailed depending on the grant.
And how did you get involved with, just putting the block on the back burner for now, how did you get involved with this process? Like, what makes you qualified to help them out with their 501c3?
Well, I've been in finance and accounting for over 20 years. I've done...
Any degrees or anything like that?
I have a bachelor's degree in business administration with my strengths in management and finance. I also have a master's degree in business and management with my strengths in finance. So it's not only education-wise, but it's also experience-wise. I've worked in so many different arenas of companies, for-profit, non-profit, stock markets, companies that are public. I've done IPOs. There are offerings to get on the stock market itself. So that's a whole process all in its own. So I do have a lot of background in different organizations in their finance departments. So it helps me with recognizing what needs to be done. It helps me with knowing which way to go. I've also had my business now since 2015. So it's 5 years now. Since May was 5 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud of it. It's small. I've been doing the same thing for about 5 years. I have a nice 5 small, businesses that I help run and try to get them in the right direction. And just kind of on a part-time basis is something I enjoy doing. It's something I want to go full-time with. So anybody out there trying to, start a business and trying to run things and trying to figure out where to go, hit me up. I got my own website and everything, so yep. We're getting there. Negron Consulting Associates.
It takes a lot to grow.
gmail.com.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
I said it takes a lot to grow.
It does. Like I said, it's been 5 years. It's been tough 5 years. I'm doing it all by myself.
That's why it's so tough.
Yeah.
When you're a one-person team.
Right. So, and it's not enough to go, I can quit my job right now and I can go full-time. I could probably do part-time, but right now with the whole COVID thing, everything's kind of slowed down, and now I'm just waiting for tax season to come around, and we're going to be opening up some new avenues for my business as well. I'm actually joining up with another company. Right now, I'm going to be in a partnership with another company, Falcon Land. They are a tax business. So I'm kind of partnering up with them to kind of get the tax portion of my business a little more exposure. I'm trying to get a little more clients. You
want to start growing?
I want to start growing. I want to start growing big time. They're going to help me do that. They have electronic filing directly to the IRS. It's all instantaneous. I started it late last year, or this past year rather, with this past tax season. It worked out really well. I kind of did it as a side thing, didn't really sign up for anything, just kind of wanted to see how it would work. The platform's great. It's making the tax season probably a whole lot easier for me and probably my clients as well. I have direct access to the IRS now with them. So I'll be online come January 1. So whoever's out there ready to get their taxes done, hit me up.
There you go. And how did you start? How did you get into this field? What made young Liz decide, hey, I'm gonna go towards financing instead of pursuing a different career?
Funny story. So right out of high school, I actually went to college and I was pre-med. So I was supposed to be a doctor. That was my young studies, was my mindset was to become a doctor, to become this, pediatrician is what I wanted to be. Went to school. Didn't kind of work for me. It just kind of didn't click. I was just looking for something to kind of pique my interest. I couldn't find it. I did a year and a half of college, kind of took a couple steps back, found a job in an office setting, and it was just a summer job. It was in between courses or whatever. I started as a clerk typist And by the end of the summer, I was doing bookkeeping and running the office and scheduling. And it was pretty interesting.